So you think about getting into fitness and you want to get something to help track your fitness. Um, Generally, people will get a smartwatch or a heart rate monitor that's strapped around their chest. Um, I'm just getting into running myself to help with some other activities and basically just to lose a little bit of fat, just a bit of cardio health as I'm getting older. And so I've been looking into some of these watches and whatnot. Sorry about if there's any shaking. I was previously using this, which is a G-Shock. Very durable, reliable. Um, doesn't really run out of battery. It has solar power. You can probably see, maybe if I turn this light on, you can sort of see there's like little blue panels around the outside. Anyway, you probably can't see it. So there's little panels around the outside, and basically recharges with the sun. So this battery lasts like 10 years. I will get into the smartwatches in a bit. So this battery lasts about 10 years. You don't have to replace it at all. If it gets a little bit low at the moment, you can probably see, yeah, see it's on medium. It's got an M there, yeah. So all you have to do is chuck it in the sun for a little bit. It'll jump up, and then yeah, Bob's your uncle, and it just keeps going, keeps going. But the functions on this one are very basic. It is, where's my mode? Because everything's backwards. So you've basically got your time, world time. You've got alarms. You've got 5 alarms. You've got a stopwatch. You've got a timer, and that's about it. Like a countdown timer or a stopwatch. You can get better models of G-Shocks that do have other things that will help you with hiking and whatnot. They've got direction and whatnot. It depends on how much you want to spend. This one is about 300 from memory. I got it at 50% off, so I got it for about 150. And it's a great watch. I mean, it's durable. I wear it a lot of the time. It's comfortable. I don't have to worry about the battery running out. Truth be told, I did have a Samsung watch a while ago, and I just got sick of it running out of battery every day, and got sick of it charging. You'll be out, and then sometimes it'll be like bam, and it'll just like die on you and stuff. So every night you have to put it on charge, and then how do you record your sleep and everything like that. But they have a new one. They have a new one. Okay, the 5 Pro, and that has a 3-day battery. So, and I'll move into that one in a second. Um, so, just as an average watch, you can use an average watch, and you can check your heart rate just by pulse, or you could use a heart rate monitor. So that's one option for you. Okay, so now there's this one as well, which is a cheaper smartwatch. It does the heart rate, it does the steps, it does sleep monitoring, it does oxygen, it takes photos and stuff. It's pretty good actually. So like you can do steps, you can do your heart rate, do your little heart rate monitor there. If you go up, you got your training, your oxygen, and SPO2, weather, shutter, so it can connect to your phone, so you can take photos through it. You can set your phone up and sort of like use it as like a camera stimulus, I suppose you'd call it. It records stuff. It comes with an app that you can download onto your phone, and that records everything. That's how you use it. It connects to your phone, and it records everything and keeps it on like a dial. It won't track where you actually go as far as a path, but I mean it's got a torch and stuff as well. So if you go like torch, look at this. This is pretty cool. So you go torch and it goes like this. And it actually works pretty well. So that's very handy at night, I tell you. But yeah, anything, it doesn't really track where you go as far as mapping wise, which is okay. I mean, if you don't really care about that, then fine. I found that the heart rate is so, the blood pressure is so, steps are relatively accurate, sleep's fairly accurate. The rest of it, I wouldn't even know. You sort of have to take it for what it is. I'm not a doctor. I don't have the other instruments to double check it with. But like that's one of the cheaper ones on the market, and you can change the faces on it and stuff as well. Um, so you can change the faces on it just like every other smartwatch. So you got like different ones for like different things. There's an analog one. So it's not a bad watch. So for a watch to keep just a general guide for things, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. And being cheap, it's not gonna put you out of pocket or anything. It's still just it's gonna give you an average sort of a general a general aspect of where you're at. I did some. I train lots of things. So I train at the gym. I'm training running. I do skateboarding. I do Muay Thai. And I was instructed by Muay Thai to start jogging for cardio endurance and for like it helps your shins, and I've had sprained ankles, so it actually helps the strength of your ankles. With this channel, I'm going to go into running shoes and stuff like that as well because I'm really investing in all of that. But that's going to be separate videos. So like, subscribe, and keep in touch on some downloads because there'll be different videos for different things, and I'll update and I'll challenge these watches because I've got this one, I've got the Samsung, and I've got a Garmin as well, which is like a cheaper Garmin which is on the market there. So I got this on my phone plan, so it was cheaper. I got given this one, and then I wanted something to see if it was a little bit more accurate. I got given this one for a Christmas present, and this one was with a phone plan. So basically came down to nothing for me. So I've got a collection, so I've got something to play with. So that's why I'm doing these videos. So that's this one. I'm not even sure what this one's called. I've seen something similar on the internet. But I mean, it's very good just for a general idea of what you're getting. You can do continuous heart rate as well. I just don't have that set up on this. I have to just go in and do it manually. But you can do continuous heart rate on it. Yeah, for a general idea of where you're at, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. So I'm actually quite pleased with this one. The battery life on this is like 5 days or something. It's crazy. Maybe even like closer to 8. It's crazy. It's hard to tell. I will do another video of battery life because I do alternate with this a lot of the time, and I'll just try and use these others for fitness. Okay. So there's that. So I'm not sure what this is called, but it's like DA Fit or something like that. Yeah, it's not a bad watch. It's very comfortable to wear. I will give it that. It's very lightweight. Yeah, so it's great. I alternate it with this, and the battery combined with this, I mean, the battery lasts like on standby. It lasts easily a week on standby, and then you just have to sit it on the charger, and then it just charges up, and using it, it'll last like easily 5 days. Yeah, it's not too bad. You can't answer calls on it, and you can't answer messages on it, but you can receive them. So you can receive notifications of messages. I'll try and so you can receive notifications of messages, no messages. You can receive calls, you can receive like Facebook alerts and stuff like that. So it's actually not too bad. So the next one I'll get into is the Garmin. Now this is a Garmin SQ. This is probably the cheapest Garmin that you can get on the market at the moment. It's square. To be honest, the only see, I'll put it on for you and just like placing it on my wrist. I've got the heart rate set to continuous. The bands on these are really comfy, and soon you'll see. It'll only take a second. Waiting for GPS. Da, 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 da. So this one actually has GPS as well. This has apps put into it, so sporting apps, running apps, walking apps. See, it's already tracking my heart rate. I should hold on. I'll do it this way. I'll come around the other side. But it's upside down. But it's already tracking my heart rate there. You can add your own little widgets. You've got like a couple of faces that you can choose from. So you've got an analog face, you've got, I don't know, 2 like digital faces. I think you can download more. I just like a little analog face because it's like nice and sort of clean looking. Yeah. You can adjust them and you can, add things and take things off. Like you don't need the heart rate and stuff on there. I leave it continuous heart rate. This one seems a lot more accurate. When I was training outside once, I did do some training with this watch, and it was saying that my heart rate got up to like 90, and I was like sitting down, like I was like way out of breath. I like measured it, and it's like 90, 91, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit higher than that. I did something a little bit less strenuous with this one, and it's gone up to like 117. So already this has been shown to be a lot more accurate. It's nice and stylish. It's really light. The only setback is being a cheaper and smaller one. It's smaller to read. But I mean, if you want to spend more money, I mean, Garmin watches are expensive, but if you want to spend like a little bit more money and get like a model with a bigger face, then obviously you can see it clearer. This one has like navigation on it. It'll actually track what you've done. I have to remember how to use this. So if you go, it's got golf on it. I do golf. I will be taking both of these, playing golfing, and I'll do a video of that. Yeah, so it's got like navigate, and it'll navigate where you're going, and it'll just have like a little arrow. I don't know how accurate it is on this model. It seems so, but I haven't really tried it, so I'll try it and I'll do another video on that for this one. Yeah, so it's got an app on it, and it basically just tracks everything for you. It will track where you walk. I'm trying to find where I did it, like my previous walks. I just have to say history, this week, previous weeks, records, cycling, no activities. So this one will not only is it accurate, it's sort of you can receive messages. It's got like weather on it. It'll track your hydration. You just sort of tap a thing, and it's sort of like, it'll just sort of say how many cups you just monitor it yourself. Oops. It's just buzzing because I just like set it on like a training thing. So it's got like a timer, distance, pace. As far as steps and everything, and you can just like delete it. So as far as steps and everything, it's very accurate. As far as heart rate, it is very accurate. When I did take it for a walk, it tracked it. It comes up on the app on your phone, and like it does with the sleep, it's got a graph, and that's very accurate as well. It's probably a little bit more accurate than this one, but it tracked. My dog wanted to stop and sort of say hi to some people, and it actually had like a little notch, and then went back in where I actually stopped, walked in to speak to those people. and it's got like, you know, blue for where you went, for where I sort of stopped, and then when I had like a little jog on the way back with my dog, it went like red. So it sort of shows your fast and your slow parts of it. Um, no, we don't want. But yeah, the GPS, I'm just not. The GPS works, but I'm just not sure how accurate it is, as far as there's a track back feature where you can sort of you ask the GPS to um, basically save your coordinates, and then wherever you go, you say, look, can I go back to that location? And it'll be like your geolocation, so it'll be like, you know, 39 degrees this latitude, longitude, and all that kind of thing. It's a full GPS kind of thing, and it'll just have an arrow. It'll tell you how many meters to go. I've only basically experimented with it. Twice it hasn't worked, but with the walk and stuff, it has worked. With the bigger models, you can get like full maps and stuff, and it's a lot more built for that kind of thing. There is, I'm trying to find it, but there's actually like where I have actually walked in. See, it does stress level, it does body battery, which is really good. There's I can't find it on here, but there's one of my previous walks, and it'll actually show you like a little squiggle where I sort of like walked and then walked back. So it'll sort of track like just the line of like the path that you walked. The battery on this is probably like 5 days as well. Probably about 3 days full usage. Once again, I just kind of, because I alternate these with this watch. So, yes, so I tend to turn it off when I'm not using it. And I will do, sorry for the stuttering and stuff, but I will do a full video. So there's the weather and everything. It tells you the wind and everything like that. It's pretty accurate. So northeasterly, 5 kilometers wind, 100% humidity, 32 degrees, 22 low. We're at 23 at the moment. You know what I mean? So it is pretty accurate with data. Because it's small, it can be hard to read, especially like, you know, if you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So like, you know, a bigger watch face, maybe I'm just used to a bigger watch face, and then once you actually use it for a while, you get used to it. But yeah, it does track, sorry, this light's annoying, I'll just be 2 seconds. Cool, so it does actually track and map your path of where you've been, and it comes up on the app, which is downloaded to your phone, and yeah, you receive messages on here, but you can't respond to them either, which is fair enough. I mean, if you're running or playing golf or whatever, you can just like look and go, okay, well, so-and-so called me, I'm going to stop, get my phone out and then do it. If it's nothing, then it's like, fine, keep going. You don't have to stop and, you know, do it. It's not a mobile phone on your wrist, so to speak. Whereas this one more is, which we're about to get into. This will count your reps. It's got breath work for stress. I said it can navigate stuff for you. It's very good. Once you get used to how to use it, I just have to use it more and get and understand actually how to use it properly. But as far as recording data, it's very accurate, and it's one of the cheapest ones that are on the market. Small, light, waterproof. It will do your like laps. It'll count like laps of swimming and stuff. Yeah, it's a great little device. The only thing is, being Garmin, they tend to cost a lot more than other watches that are on the market. So I'm still asking for GPS. So yeah, I mean that's probably the only issue, is Garmin's do cost a lot. So save up and get a better model, I guess. Not all of them have golf, if you're interested in golf. But yeah, I mean, they're a great watch, and you can get like, you know, replacement bands and stuff for them. I noticed there's a little thing on the inside of the band here where the loop goes through. You can see like a little notch there, and that goes through the holes here, and that stops it from coming out, which is really cool. This band is really comfortable, and it just sits really nice on your wrist. Yeah, it's a great little piece. It definitely is a great little piece. So there's that. I highly recommend that one. Now we're getting into the Samsung. This is one of the latest on the market. Mind you, this is like a few years old. Okay, this is like one of the oldest watches that Garmin makes, and you can have music on there and stuff like that as well. So this is basically just your mobile phone, but put onto your wrist. As far as maps are concerned, you need to actually download a second party app, so like Strava or like a trail map or something. There is Google Maps, but I'm not sure if the Google Maps actually tracks where you walk or where you run or whatnot. The bonus about this is I have to keep putting my pen in because it's not on my wrist. I mean, you got your messages. You can respond to your messages on here. You can receive calls on here. See this, you can actually leave your phone at home, whereas this one you tend to have to keep your phone with you. But you can actually opt with these ones to actually have LTE, which means that it's got a eSIM, and what that allows you to do is it's got its own basic SIM, and it just works as a standby phone linked to your phone, if that makes sense. So you can leave your phone at home, and then it's basically it, but it's just linked to your phone. So everything that happens on your phone gets diverted to this, and then your phone stays home, and then you can still answer your calls and whatnot. The band on this is the original band that comes with them. It's like a little click band, and it's just got like a little magnet, and it shuts. And it's actually really, I mean, look, they're not that big. They're really not that big. They're pretty comfortable. As far as seeing everything, it's a lot easier with this than it is with a Garmin. But you can get Garmin's these size. They just cost a lot more. They probably cost around the price as what these cost. But I only really got this because, like I said, I could add it to my phone plan. So it's only like an extra $20 a month or something for my phone plan. You've got your weather, you've got steps, you've got heart rate, and you can just click measure straight away and it'll measure it. You can do it for continuous heart rate. I have to put my pin in all the time just because it's not on my wrist. Running, walking, and stuff like that. You've got a route, which when you get your maps, you can put that in, and then once you actually walk your route, you can do track back, and it'll actually track you back like a Google Maps type thing, but along the exact same route that you went back. This is just like an arrow and numbers, so it'll be like 100 meters, and it'll have like an arrow directly to the direction that you want. So hypothetically, this is like dodgy old phone case. So hypothetically, say you're here, or you want to get back here, okay? And you're here, it'll just have an arrow pointing there. If there's all this stuff here, you have to decide how to actually get there yourself. It'll just keep on pointing there. You know what I mean? Whereas this will actually take you like an arrow, and it'll have like a map literally backtracking you along the path that you've gone. So you're literally, if you want to take another path, then you're literally just going off the path that it's trying to take you on. That's the difference with that. If you want to use it for golf, you have to actually download a golf app. You generally have to pay for these apps. It tracks your sleep. You can actually use the bezel to scroll through things. Sorry, I should actually, rather than doing it on an angle, you can actually use the bezel to just like scroll through like quicker. So yeah, what was I saying? For golf, you have to actually download an app to it's got blood pressure and ECG as well, but you have to actually link them to, like, you have to go and get an actual machine and collaborate it, and every month you have to re-collaborate it to make sure it's accurate. But you have to download like a golf app, have a golf app on your phone, and basically it's the same as what I was just saying before. It's using your phone, so it's using the golf app on your phone on your wrist. So it'll have, you know, the distances, and then you just follow that. Whereas you can still just pick up your phone. It just says you pick up your phone, putting it down, picking up your phone, putting it down. It's just on your wrist. Yeah. This just has that built in. Not all Garmin's have the golf app, and that's only for people that are golf enthusiasts. There is actually a golf version of this. I don't know the difference between that and what it's going to be doing. They said that they didn't know when that was going to be available, so I just went ahead and just like got this one. Yeah, the blood pressure, it measures stress. Yeah, you can just add tiles and swipe them through. It's very easy to use. Both of these, you can do like, you know, your little NFC pay where you blip. I haven't got that set up, and I don't really desire to, just in case. It's just, I think it just makes paying for things too easy, I feel. That's just me. Sometimes it can be handy, like if you've got your hands full. It's very easy to read. No notifications. I'm trying to find other stuff. At the end of the day, I mean, that's basically... So if you swipe down, then you've got your apps here, and you can use your bezel. Oops. Because it's not on my wrist, and I've got my pin code in. So, and then you swipe down with the bezel rather than scrolling, and you can see I've got like trail maps down there. It's just, you have to pay for these to use the maps, and then you have to download them onto the phone, and then once you download them onto the phone, then you can actually use them, and then you can use them in route to track. It does have Google Maps. I still don't know if they collaborate together as far as walking. Just opening Google Maps now to show you. So let's find a place. Driving. Google uses your navigation. Blah 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 blah. Dismiss. Okay. Beware of your surroundings. Yes. Okay. I got cut off a bit there. I was playing with the maps, and it basically just sent me through to Google Maps. It opens it up on my phone, because my phone's next to me. But it'll basically just do the same thing on your watch, and then you've just got your map on your watch, so you can just look at it, and it'll just show you the directions. It's literally just Google Maps. It's literally your phone, a Samsung phone, mirrored onto your watch. But you can take calls on it and everything. It's a great little device. You can get like aftermarket bands for it. There's a little camera thing that you can set up on it. You've got Samsung Health, which sort of records everything. That records your sleep and everything like that. As far as recording your walking, like what the Garmin does, so if you actually want like a map of where you've walked and where you regularly walk and stuff, I think you have to download from a third party, so like Strava or something like that, and then you have to go in and do a different file and then download that particular map onto the watch, and then it's only got that strict map. So if you're just walking nonchalant, you don't know where you are, then you use Google Maps. If you want to record your running and stuff, you kind of have to use a running app that is on both, so like a Nike or Adidas running app, and you can just keep it on your phone, and you can use it through your watch, and then yeah, and you just use it that way, and then it'll just sort of like track it. I haven't done any runs or walks with this yet. I will be. I'll do a run with this one first, and then I'll do a video on that, and then I'll do a separate run with the Garmin, and then I'll do that. I have actually done a walk with this, and then I'll do another run with this one, and then I'll do this. In between that, I'm going to do a video of running shoes. Just quickly, I'm an overpronator and I've had sprained ankles and whatnot, and people preach barefoot running for that, and honestly it was making my heel strike worse, and it was actually making me overpronate worse. So I've had some old running shoes, and obviously the cushioning in the old running shoes weren't good enough, so I've invested in some other running shoes, but I'm going to do a whole nother video on that. But essentially that's just an overview, a quick overview on these. At the moment, this little Garmin is probably the best of the three in my opinion, just because it's got everything on it. You don't have to do the third-party apps like you do with this. The only issue is it's got such a small screen, which you can get used to, and if you want to pay a little bit extra, you can get like a better one. And the golf is already on there, and that just basically numbers, of the green, and then you just know your distances. It'll tell you like your hazards and everything like that. But I mean, we'll test that. I'll take them both golfing, and I'll do a video on each, or excuses to get out and exercise, right? But that's the download. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to you and what your budget is and how much you care about these recordings and what the actual watch will do. You can just run, and then when you're tired, just be like, okay, I'm going to walk, I'm going to listen to my body, and just not let your heart rate get so high and stuff. I have sort of recently stopped smoking, and I used to do a lot of strength sports, so I had a lot of weight on me, a lot of fat, just from doing like heavy lifting. So my cardio hasn't been the best, so I've been a little bit worried about sort of things like heart attacks and whatnot. So I wanted something that had like a alert. This doesn't have a warning if it gets too high, whereas these you can actually set a warning. So if your heart rate gets like 120 beats per minute, it'll be like, hey, and it'll vibrate, and it'll sort of be like, hey, look, your heart rate's 120, chill out. Or if you feel good, it's just like a warning, so you sort of pay heed to what you feel. If you're like, oh yeah, I feel fine, I'm just going to keep going, then it's up to you, right? So yeah, in a nutshell, trying to make it as quick as possible, that's them. So I will make some more videos on what they end up like. They've all got Gorilla Glass. They're like scratch proof. They're very durable. Weight wise, this one's the heaviest. The Garmin's the lightest, but it's also the smallest at the same time. There's a little temperature sensor going off there. This one has a little skin temperature thing, that little dot, but they haven't actually set that up yet. So that's up to Samsung. They haven't quite set that up yet, and I still just use this and keep my phone with me, and I just tend to just take these out for runs, or if I just want to track my heart rate for a little bit, or track my sleep, then I'll wear one to sleep, or I'll if I'm going for a walk, or I want to and I want to see how things are, or if I'm going for a jog, I'll whack one on. So in about a week or so, I will do like just a small jog, just like a 2-kilometer jog or something, and I'll take one out. I'll start with this one, and then I'll go to the Garmin, and then I will go to then I'll go to the Samsung, and oh yeah, that's another thing. Since I dropped these two, the Garmin and the Samsung, if you fall over, you can do like a SOS thing where it'll actually alert people. So if you happen to be out and something happened to you and you fell over, it will actually call some emergency people that you can actually list onto your watch for them to call, just like you can with your mobile phone. An SOS thing, and you can put like 000 on there, or 911, or wherever you're from, emergency numbers, and it will contact them, and it'll basically send where you are. to them. It'll send exactly where you are to them, and they can be like, hey, boom, he's fallen over there, let's go check him out, and hopefully rescue you before anything bad happens. Um, so yeah, as you could probably tell by that little weather thing that I put on before, it's really humid, 100% humidity. Um, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So, like I said, in my opinion, the Garmin's probably the better one at the moment. If you want something that's more like an actual mobile phone, the Samsung. But if it's purely for fitness and tracking, then I would say the Garmin. You don't have to worry about all the other apps or anything like that, and it's very, very accurate. If you want even more accuracy and you don't want to bother with this stuff, get a heart rate monitor, chest strap thing. Um, and yeah, but I still wouldn't shut this down. I mean, if you don't have the money for one of these, or like one of these, you don't have the opportunity to get one, I mean, you can still see where you're at and regulate yourself with a cheaper one. It may not be 100% accurate, whereas the Garmin's pretty much spot on, but we'll compete these two and see which one is more spot on. Um, but I mean, it's not that far off, you know what I mean? And it's pretty good. And so it's up to you, your budget, your situation. Um, and yes, I will do another video to follow up, as I've sort of said a couple of times already. Sorry, the heat's probably getting to me a little bit. So yeah, it'll probably well, let's see. I'll go for go watch face. So this is another watch face I've got set up, and you can actually change those widgets to what you want and where you want them. So that's a pretty cool thing about this watch. It's just the screen's a little small. That's about it. Like I said, you can get ones with bigger screens, but it's a very cool watch, and it does the job, and it does the job well. Um, like I said, the navigation. If the navigation thing's a big thing for you, either spend more money and get one with like a better navigation system on it, one that's more for trekking and hiking, or you can spend some pay the $10 for Strava or whatever, or find the GPX files and download the maps onto this one, and then yeah. So it's all personal preference when it comes down to it. I'm assuming the Garmin's going to be a little bit more accurate, but I think they're going to be very, very close, to be honest. But we will see. We'll definitely see. That's my dog's nose. Yeah, we will see. Looks wise, I mean, they both look really cool. I'm getting a black band coming for this. Yeah, that is the only thing that's wrong with this is that it's small, and the GPS thing. If you want to do your little track back, you have to basically track back. You just follow the arrow. So I want to see if I can find. Here you go. Previous weeks, one activity, two activities. So you got forward and back, forward and back. Try and do it here. So 1st of Jan. Here we go, the walk. So there, that's the map that I was telling you about, that it comes up on your actual watch, and it'll show you. See, it's just flicking through. So that's showing where I've walked, the basic path, and the length. That's sort of like where you go up and down, and then it's a lot more detailed on the app. Yeah. So 1.6 kilometers, and you got a little map where you've walked. And that's just going to flash back until I'm like, yep, all right, cool. And then when you go onto your Garmin app on your phone, it will have the actual map. So it'll have the streets and everything, and a detailed line of where you've actually walked, of that path of where I walked, like the streets. Almost like it's very close. I was on the footpath most of the time. It's only on the way back. It put the line on the way back next to the other line, so it looks like I was walking on the road. It's very accurate. So yeah, and this one I just have to link with some running apps. So we're gonna see how that actually goes when I take this one for like a walk and a run as well. So that's what I mean. That's the difference. If you're happy to put that effort into doing the actual maps and stuff, then yep. And you want like a phone thing, if you just literally want something to track your fitness and you want a smartwatch for that, and you want something that's very, very accurate, then yeah, you got this. If I was to go hiking and I want an actual map, then I'd probably use that and use Google Maps, if you know what I mean. If I didn't care, I only really cared about, say my heart rate, and I only really, I wasn't that sort of fussed, then I'd probably just stay with this. So apples and oranges, these two are actually pretty close, and being that this is a few years old, I mean, I wonder what the new and better model Garmin's are like. So, but I mean, they're pricey. Like this retails for what, 800. I want a payment plan for like 2 years on my mobile, and the better ones of these are like close to like 1200. So it comes to price. And then if you don't really care to, like, if you don't really want to spend that much, you just want a general thing, then yeah, you can just get like a cheaper one. So yeah, I'll take them for a walk. I'll take these two and I'll challenge these two for a walk. I'll actually take this one for a walk too, and we'll challenge them. So go bam, bam, bam. I'll do a video on each. Say like, subscribe, keep in touch with the channel, and I'll do a video on each, and then we'll compare and compare and compare, and then afterwards compare them all again. And in between then, I'll do stuff on shoes and running as well. And yes, I hope that helped you out if you're indecisive with some watches, or if you're thinking about getting one, what they have to offer, and you're not sure exactly how to go about it. I mean, I was actually just going to get a Fitbit, and then this is basically a Fitbit with like 10 times more detail. I just didn't really want to carry my phone with me if I was to go for a run. Like, why have something bulky? So yeah, I mean, if I'm only going for a 2K run, I don't really care about, like, no call or message is that urgent, so you can receive them on all three of these. This will still receive them. It's just that when I actually leave the Bluetooth, it'll just turn around and go boom, it's disconnected from your phone, and then it's just a watch. And then once it reconnects, everything should still be there. I can pay like an extra $5 a month and it works independently. And if I leave my phone at home, it's basically literally my phone on my wrist. So if you're to buy one and it's not like on a phone plan through your provider, then I would suggest to probably get the LTE model and pay for the service where you can actually use this independently. Otherwise, technically, it's just a watch, and it just saves you pulling your phone out of your pocket, essentially, and it just keeps your, heart rate and stuff, and your sleep. In a nutshell, essentially, that's what they are. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with this little thing, this little Garmin. So there we go. We shall come back to the channel, and this is the start video. Like I said, the next one we'll do a touch up on how things are going with them. The next one after that, we'll touch up on how things are going with them again. Test the accuracies, what one said, what the other one said. Mind you, you know, my heart rate and my performance, my steps might change and adjust. So it's all going to be like a general idea. I mean, I'm not going to be literally stepping in the same spot every single time. If my fitness ends up getting better and I end up doing something a little bit easier, I end up having an easier run, so therefore there's less steps because I've got like a better cadence, like, you know, a better stride. Then I might be like 1 or 2 steps down or whatever. But I mean, you'll get the idea. But if you're looking for a watch, I hope this gives you like a general guide. If you just want to, if you don't care about, you know, that stuff, you just want something that has a long battery life, get yourself a solar powered regular watch, and all you have to do is just chuck it in the sun. It'll be a hot day tomorrow. I'll stick this outside. I'll go up to high. If I stuck this outside on like some sunny days for 3 days, it'll take a long time before that goes down to medium. That's all you have to do. You can just sit in the window. Yeah. So there you go. Watches, watches, watches. Next video I'll do, I don't know, I might do shoes. I might do another watch video. I'll try not to repeat myself as much. Feel free to give me feedback, ask questions. Please like and subscribe the channel. And yes, I don't have an Apple phone, so I won't be testing the Apple Watch. I'm assuming it's very similar to this. That's all I know. This does probably look the nicest out of all three, the Samsung. Even though it's heavier, it's probably a little bit more of a dressy watch. It's very rugged. Like, this is titanium, this is metal. They've all got quick release bands on them. So you've got like a little pin there and a spring. So you can just pop and it'll just pop off. So you can literally, if these were the same size, which I highly doubt they are, but you can, like, you know, literally just pop one off and just swap the bands or whatever. This is like a 20mm band, so any 20mm band. This band's really, I've actually loosened it up. It's grippy. It won't slip. So I ended up loosening it up like a little bit, and it's still like quite grippy because it's light. It's still really comfortable. So I wore it like a little bit looser. All three of them are actually really comfortable. It's just that after wearing, these are really flat on your wrist, and then putting this one on, it's a little bit more, it's just a little bit more bulkier. So it feels a little bit more like the G-Shock on your wrist, you know what I mean? But like in comparison, like, you know, you put it on, I'll put it on the other side. In comparison, it's not that chunky. Everyone's like, oh my god, it looks so big. And you get a whole lot of skinny guys wearing them and putting them on their wrist. But I mean, really, it's not that chunky. It's really not that chunky. Yeah, I mean, it's a stylish little watch, this thing. It's nice and heavy. It's a nice like going out watch. You can set the buttons on this so they're on the inside, and you can like reverse it. So if you prefer the buttons to be on the inside, you can actually go into the settings, or you can change it so you can use it this way. And there's a whole lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. You can use your phone camera through it. So I could literally probably sit here and have this on and just go ding and do the recording, stop, pause, boom, and you can actually control it. So literally that's what it is. It's a control and a thing for your watch. It's for your phone. It's literally your phone on your wrist. So that's it as an overview. So thank you very much, and I'll do another video soon. Peace.